Detroit Lions. Oh, baby, that is big time stuff. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Oh, baby.
Yes. How's it going, everybody? Welcome in. I am back here. This is me, Nick Harkson, on Touchdown Detroit Lions over on Syndicate Sports Detroit. How is everybody doing today? I'm going to let some people get in here first before we get this thing going. I'm back. It felt like, I was gone for a while, but I've only been gone for a week. I coach high school baseball, and we had to reschedule a game because the weather's been so bad where I'm at. And that was one of the only days we could get a game in, so we went for it. But, we are back. I'm back. Glad to be back. Good to see you guys. Fresh and Fly, what up? Patty Grimes, what up? Good to be back. Before we get into what everybody wants to talk about, because, free agency's been going crazy, I'm going to talk a little news while people are getting into the chat and into the room here. I'm going to say what's up to Braylon real quick as well. But, the Lions, they have proposed 3 new NFL rules, and they all revolve around challenges, and we might as well get this out of the way, because I know not everybody wants to talk about this, but it is some Lions news. And these rules that have been proposed, let's see here. The pictures are not popping up, and I don't understand why. But that is okay. Here, I got them here. So we're having a few technical difficulties, but I'll tell you guys what's going on anyways, because I got all the news right here as I pull it up. But yeah, so here are the rules. One of them is to expand the coach's challenge system to include personal fouls called on the field. The second rule they want to change is to provide clubs more opportunities for a third challenge. And the third one is to expand the replay official's jurisdiction to allow for consultation regarding penalty assessment. So yeah, all of those revolve around, challenges and penalty challenges. And I think that is something that needs to be addressed because the refs need to be held accountable. And I think that's a good way to do it. But while we're here now, we're all here. What's up, Kim Foderberg? Let's talk free agency. I see everybody in here. And we can talk about some things. I see Leonard Fournette for cheap. We'll get into that. We'll get into the running back talk for sure. But we are fully 100% into the free agency frenzy. I love it. This is a great time of year. I'm excited. We're making moves. We're bringing people back. Let's talk about it. But Brad Holmes possibly just had his biggest free agency signing as a GM as far as, contracts go. He went out and got Cam Sutton from the Pittsburgh Steelers, former Pittsburgh Steelers. But, I think that's a great pickup. A lot of people wanted Jalen Ramsey. He ended up with Miami, and, it wasn't for that much for the trade, but his contract was kind of up there. But we're paying this guy a lot of money as well. It seems like $33 million for 3 years, but I love the pickup. I think that he absolutely fits Detroit. If you listen to what other guys said, there's some beat writers in Pittsburgh who have said great things about this guy. They're calling him the smartest guy in the room. This guy, Mark Caboli, I don't know what's going on with my graphics today. I can't pull him up, but I'm just going to read what it says. This is Mark Caboli. He's a Pittsburgh writer. He said every single player, coach, front office guy on the Steelers say the same thing about Cam Sutton. Smartest player on the field. That's a great thing. And then, of course, we got a Charlie Batch tweet. This is a Charlie Batch quote from Dan Miller. He said, checked in with my guy, Charlie Batch. Once I saw the Lions were bringing in Cam Sutton from Pittsburgh, said he'd be a great addition and added his football IQ is off the charts. Means a lot coming from Charlie, who is heavily involved covering the Steelers. Yeah, I think that's saying a lot. So, great pickup for the organization, getting Cam Sutton. A lot of people, like I said, wanted Jalen Ramsey. It didn't happen. This guy, I think, from PFF was rated third of cornerbacks in free agency. But, I looked at the charts. There was a chart that somebody posted on Twitter, too. I wish I could pull it up right now for you guys. I don't know why this is doing this to me today. But, yeah, anyways, it showed him, and he's pretty much not elite, but he was right there where they showed, between interceptions, pass breakups, number of passes towards the corner. He was there right at shutdown corner, so that's good. He was a cornerback 2, I think they said in Pittsburgh, but I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and the Pittsburgh fan there, I forget his name, but he's on the Pat McAfee show every day. He said that we just got their best corner, and they don't know who's going to play corner for them in Pittsburgh anymore. Obviously, they picked up Patrick Peterson, but yeah, that's good things. Hearing that from a Pittsburgh fan, that we got their best corner. So, yeah, good things right there. Moving on, we added more corner help. Today, we went out and we got Emmanuel Mosley, and that is a former 49ers corner right there. We got him for 1 year, $6 million. I think this was a good pickup as well, kind of a Brad Holmes type deal, where he goes out and he gets a guy who was injured last year, but the talent's there. They've proven themselves before the injury, and he's just giving them a chance to prove themselves coming back from injury that they still got it. I love those type of deals because when they have to prove it that they still got it, that means they're going to play hard. So way to go. I think he's going to do good for us. It never hurts to get cornerback depth. And, with adding him to the mix, we also, I might as well get into this, we re-signed Will Harris for 1 year as well. And I'm not too mad about that. He's going to compete for the slot corner position and adds more depth. He did a lot better at corner than he did at safety, obviously. But with these 3 guys, I mean, we have more corners than that. But with the 2 guys that we just added, what does this mean for the rest of the cornerback room? Jeff Okudah, where do you fit in now? I'm not sure. This definitely creates competition, and hopefully this lights a fire under the guys who are there right now. I think Jerry Jacobs is going to do fine. He said he's not scared of competition anyways. But, I hope Okudah steps up and really does something for us. But anyways, this also means I think Amani is out the door. And we'll get into what this means for the draft here in a second, but I want to stay on to free agency. But I do think addressing the cornerback issue in free agency is a good move. It does set us up well in the draft, and we'll get into that. Moving on to some more free agency, we brought some people back, and I will get into those comments. I see you guys there. I see y'all talking. But look we brought in some people. We brought some people back, and some people that I thought that we definitely needed to add back or bring back, we addressed. Bugs. I'm gonna talk about Bugs first. I love that we brought Bugs back. He wanted to come back. He was saying it since the season's been over. We gave him a 2-year, $6 million deal. Cheap deal. Good for both sides. Can't say enough about it. Love it. Love to see him back. We also brought back Craig Reynolds, and he didn't play a lot last year, and that was due to a few things. But I think it's a good signing. He can play that third string running back role. The same one that Justin Jackson did last year, and if he wasn't hurt, he might have had that anyways. So it does create some more competition as well in the running back room, but it's a good signing. It's just some depth there is how I feel about that. But good for Craig. Good for Craig. This morning we also brought back Matt Nelson, and we could have brought him back or offered him the restricted free agent tender, but they signed him instead, and I think this was because it was a cheaper deal. So it worked out. But speaking of the tendered guys, we brought back 5 of those, and 2 of them are our tight ends that I was hoping that we would bring back. I'm talking about Brock Wright and Shane Zylstra. Love those guys. I think they stepped in, filled in great when TJ Hawkinson was traded away. I also think that if we want to talk tight ends right now, I think that our rookie last year, Mitchell, is going to play a much bigger role this year. They worked him in a lot more at the end of the season. He did a good job. I think he plays a bigger role this year. I don't know if we go tight end in the draft. A lot of people think that we should. Brad Holmes has his own plans. He has, his own thoughts in his mind going through. And this is who he wants to succeed for his team. And he knows what he knows. And we know what we know. He's got his own plan. I don't know if we're going with tight end in the draft because of this. We'll talk more draft. I keep getting there. We'll get there. But we also tendered Benito Jones, Anthony Pittman, and Scott Daly. So congrats to those guys. But yeah, another signing that I'm going to talk about right now that I absolutely love that we brought back. Another guy who wanted to come back. The commish, John Kaminsky. Bringing him back for 2 years, $8.5 million deal. I think he did great for us when he wasn't hurt. I think he could have played. He should have just put that club on his hand when he was hurt at first, but it was probably doctor's orders not to, because he did come back and he still played with the club, but I thought he could have came back a little bit earlier. Anyways, when he was out there, he was very effective. He made the rest of the line effective. Aiden Hutchinson was much better with Kaminsky out there than not. So him and Bugs coming back to the line means a lot to us. I still think with... I said we're going to talk draft later, so I'll leave it there. But yeah, glad to have you back, John. Good to see you back in a Lions uniform. You deserve it. Now, one guy that I'm going to talk about last but not least, and please let me know if we've made any signings during this. I'm trying to keep track. But yeah, because it's been going crazy. The free agency frenzy is going crazy. But one more guy that I want to talk about that we brought back, and it's getting a lot of mixed reactions from. And I want to know what you guys think. You know what I'm going to hit on right now. We signed Alex Anzalone to a 3-year, $18 million deal. Does he deserve it? Do you guys think he deserves it? Me personally, I don't know. I'm so torn on this subject. I did want to bring him back. He was one of the guys that I did say I wanted to bring back, but I did say I only wanted to bring him back for like a 1-year thing, a cheaper deal, just to kind of be a mentor for the next guy coming in. And apparently the Lions have different plans. I was told by a few different people that the Lions absolutely love him, and this proves that that is true. They do love Anzalone. A lot of fans, I guess, do too as well. I'm not one who loves him. I think that he definitely improved at the end of the season last year, and there was value there for sure. But before those last 6 games, he was very inconsistent, and so that kind of scares me still. But I hope that this long-term deal, him tweeting, "I'm home," maybe this fires him up now. He got his contract that he was looking for, and he's just ready to ball out. Hopefully he can have a full-on, consistent year and play the way that he did those last 6 games, minus the Carolina game and whatnot. But, I'm not as mad about it as other people. There's also more value there than just, on the field. A lot of I heard, or I read as well, and I do have the stat here, but I just can't pull it up. This is killing me today because normally I have the little tweets up there for you guys and where I got it from. But anyways, they said that he was a big part in of the quick development of Malcolm Rodriguez. So if he can be there to really, guide these young linebackers into quicker pro role and just become great player, or not great players, but just good linebackers quicker than normal, that also speaks a lot right there. So maybe that's why they signed him to 3 years. They get a few more good years out of him. I think that, the way that Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell think of him, they think that he hasn't reached his ceiling yet, because when he was with New Orleans, he was in there with a hurt shoulder. They think he's just now, getting the full swing of things with the defense in Detroit, and they think that he's really going to excel this next year. So hopefully he does, and hopefully he just gets better. This could end up being a good signing, but right now, I'm kind of baffled by it. A lot of people wanted to go and get Tremaine Edmonds, and the Bears went out and got him. I wanted to get him. I said that a few weeks ago. I was like, go splash for Tremaine Edwards. But I think that he was a little bit too pricey. Once I saw his cost, I was like, there's no way Brad Holmes was going to get him. And the funny thing is that, the Bears, when they got 2 linebackers, but they already had one really good one that they let go. And that's just a Bears move, whatever. I don't think that the Bears are going to be bad. Don't get me wrong. I think they're making the right moves. They are going to be scary in the division here in the next few years, but I think we're on the right track. I think we're doing the right things. I think we're setting ourselves up for success as well. And I'm going to get over here into the comments real quick. I see you guys going off. Let me see what's going on over here. Why do teams give A-Rod the pick of the litter treatment like he's a prom queen or something? I know, man. All right, yeah, we'll talk about the Aaron Rodgers crap. I hate seeing every single time I turn on the NFL Network, it's something about Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you know what? He's a little prima donna. He doesn't deserve to be that way. He didn't go and he hasn't won more than one Super Bowl. I know that's more than the Lions have won in history, but he still does not deserve to act the way that he does. He's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I would not go out, get Lazard. He's got all these demands, wanting to bring in basically the Packers to the Jets. I don't know why they would do that, and I would just move on. If I were the Jets, I would offer Lamar Jackson some guaranteed money and say, hey, screw you, Aaron Rodgers, you wanted all this. But obviously they went out and got Lazard already, so looks like they're playing into the prima donna stuff. All right, let's move on. Let's get back in to some Lions stuff, all right? Shotgun walk because of the bag Lazard got. Yeah, I mean, we can build off of that for sure. I think so. I want Shark back, but I don't see it happening. We can talk about Jamal Williams right now too. I hope to God, but I don't know if Jamal's coming back. That's some sad news, and I'm trying to come to reality with it right now, and just be okay with it, because we might make some moves. But Tracy Walker did just restructure his deal to add $5 million more, and this I'll touch. I'm kind of going all over the place, but let's just focus on this right now. Tracy Walker did restructure his contract to free up $5 million more. I don't know why we haven't cut Vaitai yet, or Charles Harris. I thought we were going to do that for sure. Apparently the Lions might like these guys, or maybe they're waiting for the right moment. I don't know. Regardless, they need to let us know. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know why we're not cutting, Vaitai especially. I know that we need some help on the line. If we do get rid of him, maybe they believe that keeping him is more valuable than dropping him and drafting a lineman or going out and picking up another one. I did see that we were linked to bringing Glasgow back, or not Glasgow, Graham Gano. But yeah, I don't know why we haven't cut those guys to free up more cap space. Because if we do, I think we could get a deal done with Shark or Jamal. Now, I would rather, to me, have Jamal Williams, but there are some talks that the Lions are potentially in the running to go and trade for Austin Eckler. And Eckler did just get permission from the Chargers today to seek trades. They have linked the Bears, the Lions, and the Commanders as the 3 teams to go out and make a move for Eckler. Now, what does this mean for Jamal Williams and Swift? I don't know. Jamal, I love the guy. He had a career year, the best year of his career, and now he is a free agent. This might be his only chance to go out and grab that bag. He might not have another year like this. I don't know. If he's with the Lions, I think that we feed him the same way that we did last year. They like the guy, but if he goes somewhere else, I don't see him scoring 17 touchdowns unless they do get down to the 1 and give him the ball every single time like the Lions did. But I think this is an opportunity for Jamal Williams to go out and get that big contract that you can only, a lot of players only get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go and grab this. This is his opportunity, and I don't know if the Lions are going to pay him as much as he wants. And I did see that the Bills, the Bengals, and the Jets, I believe, are all interested in Jamal. Let me make sure of that, because that's unfortunate. It's the Bills, Jets, and the Bengals, according to Dov Kleiman. But so if we let Jamal walk, there are other options. We might trade for Eckler. Maybe Swift is a part of that trade. So maybe we have a brand new running back room, and we have Austin Eckler, Craig Reynolds, and let's get into it. We draft Bijan Robinson at 18 preferably. Now, if we do lose Jamal, that's what I would prefer us doing instead of going in free agency and getting someone like Derrick Henry or whatnot. But the way that Brad Holmes has handled free agency so far has set us up to pretty much do whatever we want in the draft. And I think going out and getting Bijan, however you say his name, I think that would be a great move for us if Jamal goes somewhere else. So is that an upgrade with the new duo in Detroit with Eckler and Robinson? I don't know. It's pretty exciting. Bijan hasn't proven himself in the league yet, so we don't know how he's going to be, but I think he's going to pan out well. Eckler, I love his play. If you've had him on fantasy football, you know that he's a baller and he's going to go out there and produce a lot of points. But what would you guys rather have? Would you rather re-sign Jamal and keep Swift, or maybe trade away Swift and something else for Eckler? It's probably not going to be a fair wash, but we get Eckler and then maybe go get Bijan Robinson, and that could be the new duo in Detroit. Would you like that? Let me know what you guys think. If you think it would be an upgrade from Eckler and Bijan, or from Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift to Eckler and Bijan Robinson. To me, I don't think it's a bad move at all. And our offensive line is going to provide the holes no matter what. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. I've been waiting all day to hear that we have re-signed Jamal Williams. That's what I do want to do. I'll let you know that, even though I just got excited about the possibility of Eckler and Bijan Robinson there. But, I would rather keep the culture there, keep the guys who have been there from the start of the new regime with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, and see this thing play out the way that it should. I love Jamal in there as a locker room guy. I love his work ethic. I love what he does out there on the field. But if he wants that big paycheck and the Lions can't provide it, we got to move on, and we got to find another avenue there at running back. I'm going to get back into these comments here real quick and see what's going on. All right. Here we go. I think he's the defense vocal leader. We're talking about probably Anzalone there. Here we go. I'm just going to keep going down. Yo, and healthy Emmanuel Mosley is the truth. That's what I was saying, man. And I think that this is a big Brad Holmes move. He goes out there. He finds the guys who have been hurt. Even kind of did that with Jameson Williams when we drafted him. He's like, you know what? He's hurt. But when he comes back, this guy's got a lot to prove. And his talent is just out of this world. So I love the pickup there. I agree with you big time that Emmanuel Mosley pickup was great for us. Eckler is always hurt. Why pay that money? Yeah, that's why I would rather stay with Jamal and Swift. Swift's already hurt as well, and we don't have to pay him anymore. So I hope that we do retain Jamal Williams. And even if we don't, there's other ways to go than to bring in Eckler. Keep Swift and draft Bijan Robinson. But yeah, both Williams and Swift can walk for Eckler. Okay, so there's someone else who wants Eckler over Swift and Jamal Williams. Like I said, I've had him in fantasy football. I would rather keep my guys, but yeah, I'm not going to be mad if we replace them with a guy like Eckler. Here we go. We love Jamal for his character, but I think his production can be replaced. This is something about Jamal that is kind of always, it's been a pet peeve of mine of his. When he gets the ball, he's kind of predictable, right? He gets it and he's going straight up the middle. He's only a few times ran it outside, and he was mic'd up one time and he got a touchdown when he ran it outside. And he goes, man, I didn't know I had that much speed. I'm going to start trying to do that more. And I think that was towards the end of the season. So he didn't even have confidence in himself that he could hit that run outside until the end of the season. That's why I think he was just running straight up the hole. I know that's what the call is for, but you got to have some kind of vision as well instead of just getting the ball and going straight forward and pounding it. I mean, it worked out. He had a nose for the end zone. I mean, he found his way to the end zone a bunch of times. But a lot of the times I felt like he was just running with no purpose. He just got the ball and just ran straight to where he was told. Whether there was 5 guys there was no guys there. And I think our line did provide a lot of opportunities for him. And if he goes somewhere else that doesn't have as good of a line, maybe he doesn't have. I definitely don't think he has the production that he had last year with the Lions. So good point there. All right, here back into it. John Peterson with the Go Lions. Yes, good to see you in the comments here. Eckler would probably take at least a number 1 or 2. Yeah, see, that's another thing. Don't go crazy to go and get him. Don't. And the Chargers might want that because he has shown a lot of production for them. So I'm not trying to get rid of a first-round pick or a second-round pick for Eckler. I'm convincing myself right now that I don't want Eckler. But like I said, if we get rid of Jamal and let's say Swift is gone in a trade with Eckler, then yeah, I'm not going to be mad that we replaced him with that guy over somebody else. Trade Swift for more picks, re-sign Williams and draft Bijan, or take an RB in the later rounds. There are some explosive backs in this draft. You know what? You're right. There are some good backs in this draft. The Alabama running back, we could get him in the second round. I'm pretty sure he will drop to there. I don't want to trade Swift personally. I like Swift. I don't. The later and longer this goes, I know that Jamal and the Lions have mutual interest, and I'm hoping that they prove me wrong with this, but the longer this goes, I just don't know. And I'm not thinking that Jamal Williams is coming back to the Lions. So I think we got to keep Swift. He is very productive when he's healthy. That's always the problem. When he's healthy, we said that a million times. But if he can stay healthy for a whole entire year, that's a huge if, the guy can be very dangerous for this offense. All right. I have a feeling we're going to draft more offense than people think. We set ourselves up for this with these corner, and we'll get into it. I'm talking draft now. I'm going too far. I'm going all over the place, but I'm going to answer these questions. We went out and got 2 corners. We got Sutton and Mosley, and like I said, they were teammates at Tennessee, which I think is really cool that we're bringing them back together on the Lions as well. With picking up those guys, I don't know if we're going to get a corner now in the first round, and if we do, that's saying a lot. That's creating a lot of competition. Where does Jerry Jacobs fit then? And, definitely where's Okudah. But like I said, I have confidence in Jerry Jacobs. I think that he's going to do fine. I think he's a baller. He goes out there and he proves himself. He's battled adversity ever since he's been in the league. He wasn't even drafted. So I think he'll be fine. But yeah, with the draft, we can go anywhere now. We brought back Buggs and Kaminsky. I do think that we need help still on the D-line. We have a lot of guys that we have on the D-line, but it wouldn't be bad to bring in one more guy, like a playmaker, somebody who can just disrupt the offense at any given play. And just to have depth of the D-line never hurts either. So I don't know if we address that with the first pick either. But we can really go anywhere. And I love what Brad Holmes has done. He's bringing back the culture guys, everybody but Jamal so far. And I love what Brad's doing. He's setting himself up for another W, and hopefully he capitalizes on it. But really, we can just go out and get the best player available now in the draft. Now, I see a lot of people still want us to go get Jalen Carter, and I see a lot of people want us to stay away from him. I'll touch on this real quick. If there's a possibility of him getting arrested at all, I want to stay away from him just because I don't want to draft a guy who's going to be locked up when the season starts. Now, is it going to happen? I don't think so. And if it's not going to happen, then yeah, we can get him. I think that Brad Holmes and DC, Dan Campbell, believe in their culture, and they believe that they can steer a guy the right way. And remember, this is a kid, and he did mess up big time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we should bring him in. Honestly, I would, if it were me, I would avoid him. But if we do bring him in, don't get mad, people. He was a kid. He is a kid. We can fix his ways better than, let's say, a veteran with character issues. You can steer him in the right direction. And I did see someone tweet, if all he likes to do is race, put him in the fastest Fords, put him out there on the racetrack and let him do his thing just to get that out of the way. But no, I mean, obviously what he did was terrible. But, if we do end up getting him, I think we can steer him in the right way. I mean, he was projected to go as the first overall pick until the Bears traded back. And, of course, before this incident happened. So if he drops to us at 6, which I think he will, we could potentially get him. I don't know if we will, and I wouldn't personally, just because of you never know what might happen. But I do see a lot of people still want him. And I'm going to say I won't be mad. And fans, don't get mad if we do get him, because I do believe in this regime that we can turn him around. But I do think there's a better pick there at 6. And I hope we trade back. The Raiders, they got Jimmy G, but maybe they're looking to draft another quarterback and they want to trade up. I also think that Carolina moving up in front of us is going to help us out tremendously, because now we got 4 quarterbacks probably going in front of us, and we're going to have our pick of somebody really good there on the defensive side or offensive side, whatever we want. We can do whatever we want now. And I'm going to have to go back and do a new mock draft and really reevaluate this, because, the free agency is coming in fast. I don't know if anything's happened while we're on here, but it's been happening all day. I had something else written up, and then we got some other guys brought back, and we brought in Mosley. So, this is all crazy, and we really got to evaluate what we're going to do in the draft once free agency is done, or at least this week and whatnot. But let me hop back into the comments now that I've been on my spiel here. Here we go. God, I hope Jamal doesn't go to the Jets. Me neither. I could definitely see, if Aaron Rodgers goes there, him wanting Jamal there. Their former teammates. I would hate to see it as well. I couldn't root for Jamal then if he did leave the Lions and went there. And that's what I'm going to say. If he goes somewhere else, I'll root for Jamal, not the team. But I do like Jamal Williams. He won me over. Still, it's all Lions over here. So I'm, just the player, not the team. And if we do play him, sorry, Jamal, it ain't you that day. All right, here we go. Draft a corner, create that competition. Yeah, love it. I think there's great corners out there. And looky, imagine this: Sutton, Jerry Jacobs, Gonzalez, or Sutton, Mosley, Gonzalez, or Sutton, Mosley, Jerry Jacobs, Gonzalez is the backup, or whoever, Witherspoon. Throw them in there. It doesn't matter. You could get a corner now in the second round. You get Forbes, and we'd be good to go. But drafting a corner still would not hurt at all. Here we go. Back into the comments. Would you be okay with taking a QB at 6 to sit behind Goff for a couple years? That's something that I've wanted to stay away from. I don't think that we should draft a quarterback, but if we don't believe there's going to be if we're going to have the opportunity to have a number 6 pick again and get one of the top quarterbacks in the draft, then maybe this is the year that we do it. And since we did, do some good things with free agency so far, and I hope that we do more, I wouldn't be mad about it. Depends on who it is, but honestly, me personally, I want to stay away from it. I like what Goff's doing. I think with the offense and Ben Johnson, who I don't expect to be our offensive coordinator forever, but I think with those two together, I think we just got a great thing going, and there's no need to address, a quarterback of the future right now. For me, that's just how I feel. I think it's the win now mentality. We got to go out there and get it. But also, we're building through the draft at the same time. We built this, but we're here now. I think we're competitors. We're expected to win the North this year, if you ask a lot of people. And I think we're expected to win at least a playoff game this year. And Jared Goff is the quarterback who's going to do that for us, and I think he is the quarterback next year for us as well. Like you said, sit a few years. I personally don't want to do it, but if we did get that Anthony Richardson, he's got, talent out of this world. I don't know. I trust in Brad. Let me just say that. But no, me personally, don't want a quarterback. Just me. Don't want one. Okay. All right. Here we go. If Carter falls, we take him. That's what you say. See, no Carter, no character issues. We got two conflicting issues right there. That's just how it's been going. When I look at Lions Twitter, I see, we got to get Carter, best player in the draft. And then other guys, stay away from him. Character issues. Brad Holmes does say he wants this to be a good culture fit, all that. I know this is, a different example, but do you guys remember the guy? He's I don't know if you remember this name, but his name, Randy Moss. He had character issues coming into the NFL out of the draft. That guy is a Hall of Famer and one of the best receivers of all time. So do we pass on a guy because of character issues? Me personally, I already said yes. But we'll see what happens. I think that if they do get him, I still trust that they can turn it around. But personally, me, don't want it. All right. Carter, Robinson, Campbell, Simpson in the first 2 rounds. I'm not mad at that at all. And I want to touch on this too because we talked about Anzalone getting that 3-year deal. I still want us to go out and get Captain Jack Campbell. You got to bring him in. I think he fits this culture so well. Out of the guys that Dan Campbell interviewed, I don't know who he's talking about. But if it were my guess, one of those 4 guys was Jack Campbell that stood out. He just loves football. The guy's a baller out there. He's a beast. I think he would do great on this team. And I think just learning under our guys like Rodrigo now in the 2nd year and Alex Anzalone, who can teach him the defense, I think he would still make a huge impact. Injuries happen. I think he could come in and be better than Barnes. No disrespect to Barnes. But I think that he would definitely step up and still help this defense. So still go out and get Captain Jack, in my opinion. Like it. All right, if the Lions draft him, the front office did some serious digging. Not sure who you're talking about there, Dustin. If you want to fill me in, I will. Read my super chat. I don't know what your super chat is. Sorry, man. The chats are all going down fast, and I'm just reading them as they go. And if I don't see them, I apologize. This happens. YouTube shows me. It picks and chooses who's comments it wants to show me. I mean, I have it marked as all comments, but sometimes I'll have my brother and my grandfather being like, hey, I asked you this, and I'm like, sorry, I didn't see it, didn't pop up, so my fault. Yeah, Jalen Carter, okay, there. Dustin said, if the Lions draft Jalen Carter, the front office did some serious digging. Yes, definitely. So I agree, and they should. If they plan on drafting him, they need to go out and get the dirt on this guy, see what's going to happen, and I will trust if they do get him that he's going to play in the NFL next season. All right. So we're going to move on a little bit. We've talked a lot about the free agency and the draft, and we're going to keep it there, but I'm going to get back into a little bit more free agency who has to do with our guys. Now, it's coming down to we might not get Jamal Williams back, and it looks like Shark is going to walk. I had a question asked to me earlier today, and I want to know what you guys think. And I think it's an obvious question, but I still want to know because maybe it's not that obvious to others, but or the answer isn't. But would you rather re-sign Jamal Williams or DJ Shark? Me personally, it's Jamal Williams all day. I don't think we can keep both. And I did hear and see that Brad Holmes said that they expect a lot bigger things out of Jameson Williams this year. He needs to step it up and play a bigger role. So we should expect a lot more out of J-Mo, and hopefully he can fill that void. So to me, I think, definitely more worth it bringing Jamal Williams back. But what do you guys think? You think Shark or Williams? We got right here Shark over Williams. There are RBs in the draft, and Shark has more upside. Okay, Casey. I like that, actually. Maybe you persuaded me a little bit right there because that is true. There is a lot of free agent running backs we can go get. There's a lot of, we could get Gibbs from Alabama. We could get Bijan from Texas in the draft, and that would be filled just fine. Bringing back Shark, I think him and Goff have good chemistry. So, I kind of like that. And here we go. Another one. I'd rather have Shark. He was huge on 3rd and 4th down. He's got the best hands outside of Amon-Ra. There you go. See, look I thought it was Williams, and you guys both say Shark. So look and I said you might have persuaded me. Well, you did kind of, and I'm not just doing this to agree because I do like Williams a lot, but and you guys earlier said that Jamal's production just wasn't that good, and it just reminded me, yeah, he runs up the middle a lot. I like other styles better. He did score a lot of touchdowns, but I think that the Lions gave him those touchdowns. But I still like Jamal. I like his locker room attitude, but Shark is definitely very valuable to this team. Him and Goff already have the chemistry, like I said, so I will not be mad. Definitely not be mad if we bring back Sharp. I'll be very happy. But I was just saying Shark or Williams. I said Williams. You guys say Shark. Either way, good with me. All right. Well, and he said you can replace both, honestly. Okay. There you go. There you have it. We have all three opinions there, and I agree with that as well. I think Jamison Williams is going to have a big year this year. I know he looks small out there. He's skinny, but the guy is fast. If him and Goff can get that connection down, it's over. You saw him burning people out there, and he's got to get, this goes with the connection. He's got to work on his drops, because if he were to catch any of those short ones too, he could break a tackle and he's gone. But I do see big time production coming from JMO this year. So yeah, we could definitely move on from Shark. Here we go. Shark, Williams, and St. Brown. Haven't seen that in Detroit since Herman Moore, Morton, and Perriman. I love it. Yes, that's a great comparison. So it would be great to keep Shark. I think, Reynolds, we got him for another year, but he's kind of dwindling down. He had his good plays last year. But if we do keep Shark, I see those as the three guys. It's going to be Shark, JMO, and St. Brown all day. Reynolds as that fourth guy, which is good for depth. So, yeah, please, let's bring Shark back. Let's bring Shark back. With that being said, do you have any more questions for me? Because I will get to them. If not, I'm going to get out of here. But how do you guys feel about the free agency so far? How would you rank this free agency from the Lions in the first 2 days? Give me an A through F. I want to see in the comments what you guys think the Lions have earned as a grade so far through free agency. To me, I'll give my grade. I think it's a solid B. Solid B. I'll stay with B. I love that we addressed the corners, and I love the guys that we brought back. I'll give it a B, mainly because I didn't want to sign Anzalone to a 3-year deal. But other than that, I like what we do. Casey, solid B on free agency so far. Like it. And I will address some other. Here's a question right now while you guys put in your grades. How do you feel about Sewell's brother? He's a 255-pound linebacker and apparently a good run stopper. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting him at all if, maybe in a later round, second pick or, not second pick. We could do maybe third round, fifth round if he drops, definitely. But it depends on what we do earlier. I would rather have Campbell over Panay's brother. I know that they would have that brotherly love there, and they would be competing at practice every day. And if he's got the work mentality of Panay, then that he's going to come out there and he's going to be a beast. So I would not be mad if we drafted him at all. But I would rather go Campbell in the second round, get our linebacker of the future. And not saying that Sewell can't be that, but I just think that there's a few other better linebackers that I think will drop to us in the second and third round that we can get before him. If we don't get a linebacker in those rounds, or maybe the other ones go earlier and he's there later, yeah, get him. But I'm not going to get him in the second round. I don't want to. First 2 rounds, I'm staying away from him. That's just me. All right. Dale gives it a B. Unsure of San Francisco. CB coming off of injury at $6 million. We talked about this earlier, and I'll just touch on it one more time. Before he got hurt, this guy's talent. He's the real deal. Someone else said that in the comments as well. He's he's on a prove it deal now. And I think that, $6 million, we could afford to spend it on a guy who could turn out to be one of our better corners. Him and Sutton already have the chemistry, like I said, playing in college and in Tennessee together. But, I think that the talent is there. And if he can come back and do what he wants to do and prove that he's still got it after injury, it's going to work out for us in the long run. And, I know it's only a 1-year contract, but just this year, I think it's going to be well worth $6 million if it pans out the way that Brad Holmes sees it, him coming in and just balling out off of injury because he needs to prove to everybody that he still got it. All right. We do have Chase Lucas and another corner named McCain, too, on the roster. You're right. Chase Lucas, he was hurt for a lot of last year, but when he was there, he showed some promise. He was a late round draft pick for us last year, but the guy made the roster, the 53-man roster, and he almost, and he should have, but as a rookie, he didn't make the play, but he almost won the game for us, the first game against Minnesota. And if he would have picked that, probably would have been a pick 6, but if he would have picked it, it would have sealed the game. Anyways, it was a great read on the ball. He shows he can play with the NFL speed. I like that you pointed that out there. Chase Lucas, I think, will, he's going to compete there for a job. Great point. And McCain, yeah, we just brought him in from Philly. I had talked about him on my last episode, I believe, 2 weeks ago. His college highlights are out of this world, and he's got speed like crazy. I think he could be a return guy for us too, but good point there. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me this week. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I will be here next Tuesday and every Tuesday unless something happens. Like I said, I'm a high school baseball coach. Sometimes we reschedule games to Tuesdays if the weather's bad. But this week I didn't have it. And once the season's over, I'll be here every single Tuesday. But yeah, Tuesday at 5 p.m. Detroit time, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Touchdown Detroit Lions with your boy Nick Harkson over here on Syndicate Sports Detroit. Until next time, everybody. Peace.